Okay, today we are making some custom signs, so I just thought I'd bring you along and I will take you through from the start to the finish as to how we make the custom signs and what we do. So, first of all, as you can see on the laptop here, we got it loaded up with Sign Blazer. This is what the customer wants on their sign. We have got the cutter already loaded in with some vinyl from another job that's just been done, but we're just about to do this one. So, what we're going to do, I'll just zoom in on the screen now, gives you a slightly better view, is we are going to go to cutter, we want 2 copies, and we want to weed each copy. We don't need to weed all. If we choose weed all here, it will put in an extra box around the whole of that, but we don't want that. So we've got that done, and then we just go to cut and cut off, and there we go. Okay, so the cutter's now going to cut this out for us. It'll take a couple of minutes, so we'll leave it to do its thing, and then we'll come back once it's finished. Okay, so the cutter has now done its job, and we are left with one piece of the vinyl. I've trimmed it up. I don't know if you can see. You can just make it out there, or I can on this little screen where it's actually cut. Okay, so we got that. We've got the backing board that we're going to use. In this case, it is a piece of 3mm Foamex board. Tools you're going to need: you might need a pair of scissors. I just had to use them to cut out the vinyl. Some masking tape. A knife is always handy. A ruler is incredibly helpful to line it all up. A weeding tool, if you use one, that is entirely down to the personal preference. And a pair of tweezers are always handy, especially if you've got little bits of vinyl to do. So right, what we're going to do now is we're going to weed this and get it ready to be applied to the backboard. I just remembered another tool I use, the guillotine. I'll bring that over in a minute. Okay, there we go, that's the main piece removed. Now we go around and we take out all the little bits from inside the letters. Okay, so there's the guillotine. We're going to use that in a minute just to trim everything up. And the other tool I forgot to say about was a squeegee, possibly the most important tool we're going to need today. So what we're going to do is we take the application tape, and we need to treat this exactly the same as we would any other kind of vinyl. So if it was for if it was a piece of wall art or anything else like that, we just treat it exactly the same. Because we have to take the vinyl off of the backing and place it onto something else, it just gets treated in the same way. So because it's just a small sign, you can just line it up and lay the application tape down over the top. Take a knife, trim up the excess, and with your squeegee going from the inside out, give it some good firm presses to make sure that the vinyl is going to stick to the application tape. Okay. So there we go. So what we'll do now is we'll trim this up in the trimmer. By trimming it up, we've got guides on here that we can use that will give us straight lines so it then makes it easier to apply it onto the board. I'll explain more in a bit. Okay, so there you go. See, we're all trimmed up. All the edges are straight. All the scissor cuts have gone. So then we take our piece of board. Now what you normally have on a piece of board is you've got two sides. When it obviously you've got two sides plus another four on the edges if you want to count them. But you've got one side which will have a little protective cover into it. If you can just about make that out there, little piece of plastic that covers it, and the other side which hasn't got anything on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the sign to the side that has the covering on it. So unpeel that, and then you know that's a clean side. And then we are going to line up our sign for the middle of it. Just going to grab a pencil. Okay, taking two pieces of masking tape, just stick them over like that. All this does is it just holds everything in place while we do the next bit. So what I've done there is I marked a line across the middle of this piece, and I also marked the middle of the board so it's easy just to line it up. So next up, take the scissors, peel back the application tape. You don't have to go back for miles and miles and miles, just enough so as when it goes down it will hold everything in place. And then just trim off this piece of the backing. Okay, that's done, and then very carefully stick it down, because where you stick it now is where it's going to stay. Somehow a rogue piece of something got in that. I didn't spot, probably because I was too busy talking to the camera. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay, let's try again. Yeah. Alright. Where we stick it down is where it's going to stay. Honest. There you go. So what that is going to do now is that will act like the masking tape did on this side. So when we lift and peel, everything stays exactly where it should. Now you do occasionally find that the vinyl wants to come away with the backing. All you do there is just rub it back down again with your fingers, like, I don't know if you can see because I can't see the camera, that piece of side stick, but there's a little piece in there which is sticking to the backing, so it's part of the S. I'll just rub it down, and there we go, that's now on the application tape. Okay, there we go. That was a bit harder than normal because I'm doing it from a totally different angle and a totally different way, so you can still see it on camera. So we just carefully lay that down. And then we take away the application tape. And there we go, one sign. So we just need to package it up, sling it in the post, obviously with another one because as you saw at the start of the video the customer ordered 2, and that's it, order done. Thanks for watching, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, we'll see you in the next video. Bye!